Hey everybody, it's me again doing another one of these videos where I just talk to you. But God's just been really laying stuff on my heart, and it's a lot easier for me to do this than to try and type it out on a Facebook message. So once again, I'm at the gym, so my face is like bright red, which I didn't realize until right now. But this video is going to maybe get a little emotional for me, so if you don't want to see me cry or tear up, run away quickly, because it's just something that had a really big impact on me. So anyway, when I started to try and lose weight, one of my big mantras or something that I just kept telling myself was, God doesn't want you to be unhealthy. God wants you to have the best health that you can have, no matter what that looks like. I mean, yes, I'm doing it so that I can feel better and look better in clothes, but a lot of it is just I want to be healthy. I don't want to be overweight anymore. I don't want to have the health issues that come with that. But I had felt in these past 2 months that there was just something that was holding me back from doing what I'm doing to the full extent. And I never really knew what that was. There was a weight besides just the physical weight that was on me. And I couldn't break through it. I didn't know what it was. So in the past week at my church, I have gotten plugged in a couple different areas, and that has just made the world of difference in my week. The people that I've gotten to meet from my church have been so welcoming and so open and just so kind and inclusive, and it was something that I didn't really realize that I was missing in my life, was those God relationships that I have had in the past that I didn't necessarily get to bring with me here to Jacksonville. And so getting to meet the people that I've gotten to meet and getting to talk with the people I've gotten to talk to in the past week has just been the biggest blessing of my life. But anyway, so in that, last night, our church does do a Wednesday night service, and on the first Wednesday of the month, they do one that's focused on worship. So they'll do a longer worship set of beginning, and then they'll do a shorter message or a testimony, and then more worship at the end. And I went to my first one last night, and the worship was impeccable. Our worship team is absolutely amazing, and it was just a really powerful night. And it was talking about the testimony that was given was from a woman who grew up in the church, and she had a really scary pregnancy. She had some things going on with her placenta. I can't really tell you all the medical terms that she had, but basically when her daughter was finally born after her bleeding consistently for almost 2 days, they told her that her baby never should have made it because her placenta was completely dried up. And the placenta is literally the lifeline for a baby. And so they're talking about barrenness, and that there is something in your life that is barren. That can be your health, that can be literal barrenness where you can't have kids, whatever that is. But God is not a God of barrenness. God is a God of fulfillment. And I was sitting there worshiping, and it was so emotional. There were so many people who were touched by God last night. And I just felt that weight again. And I couldn't put a word to it. I couldn't describe what it was. But I was sitting there, and oh, here we go, guys. And I was crying. I was sobbing to myself as I was worshiping. And one of the pastors from our church, she's a wonderful woman, one of the wonderful women that I've gotten to meet in this past few weeks. Her and her husband both are just amazing, godly people, and she had been going around and praying for people who wanted prayer, and I was just standing there crying my eyes out, and she came up to me, and she held me, and she said, "You are worthy." And I could not control myself. I felt what I was trying to put a word to for the past 2 months. And she held me and she said, "Yep." She's like, "That's what God wanted me to say." She's like, "He wanted me to say that you're worthy, that you deserve it." And hearing her say that to me And hearing God say that to me, I sat there sobbing into her shoulder, and she said, yep, she's like, He wants you to let it go. He wants you to drop the weight. That's what she said. And she prayed for me a little more, and I sobbed some more. And she hugged me, and, she walked away, and I kept worshiping. And when I was worshiping before, and I was sobbing my eyes out before she came and prayed with me, it was a very desperate worship. I was asking for something, and I didn't know what I was asking for then until, she spoke with me. And then after she walked away from me, and I literally physically felt the weight that I'd been carrying around get taken off. I cannot even tell you how physical it was. It was not just an emotional feeling. I physically felt lighter. And after she walked away from me, my worship switched from this desperate plea and tears that I had had to the most overwhelming joy that I've ever experienced in probably my entire life. The only joy that I can even close to akin it to is the day that I got married. And let me tell you, I thought that was the most joyful day of my life. And this was as similar to that as I can compare it. And so it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit, that I think one of the reasons that I've been this way my whole life, and one of the reasons that I feel like I haven't been going to my full potential in this journey, is because I didn't think I deserved it. I had some self-worth thing that has been holding me back and weighing me down even more than my physical weight's been weighing me down. And last night I just felt like I got rid of a lot of that. And I'm so thankful for that. And I'm so thankful for that pastor who came up to me. I'm not going to share her name just so she can, hang on to that. But I went up to her after the service and I said, thank you. Thank you so much for praying for me. And she said, you know what? She's like, when her husband asked her to pray that night for people, she was like, I just prayed that God would show me who to pray for and what to say. And she's like, and you were standing there, and she's like, and there was a light above your head, and I knew I had to come pray for you. And so I'm so thankful for her being so obedient to God's calling, and for God to speak so clearly to her into my life. And for you all watching this, I want you to know you're worthy of whatever it is. God thinks you're worthy. Whether it's weight loss like me, whether it's, relationships, whatever it is. You're worthy too. And I'm so thankful for last night. And today I woke up and I have been avoiding running, like actually running on the treadmill this entire 2 months. I haven't done it once. And the reason is I can go about 4 to 5 miles on an elliptical. I don't think I can even do a mile on the treadmill. And that's just really been disheartening me. But today I got on that treadmill and I ran my first mile. And it took me about 15 minutes, which, considering my husband ran a PFT this morning and ran 3 in 20 minutes, was a little bit embarrassing. But I did it. I completed what I had set out to do, and I felt awesome afterwards. And I am just so thankful for my church family here, and I am so thankful for Christ opening my eyes to what I'd been dealing with and for lifting off that weight. And I know that He can do the same for you. So thank you so much for listening to my story. Sorry I got a little weepy, but that's okay, because it's good tears now. Bye.